What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's disappointing, obviously. We come into every game expecting to win. We've had our ups and downs, obviously, over the last few weeks, and we lost Brooke Basham during warm-ups, which doesn't help. Sort of, our depth gets a little bit more depleted, but there's no excuses. We got beaten by a better team tonight. I thought we had our chances at times to, really eat into that margin, but they just kept making the big shots.
Brooke looked really distressed during the warm-up. Like, what actually happened?
She's had a problem with her toe for a little while now, and I think that thing's got infected and, basically can't walk. So she's seeing the doctor now and getting antibiotics. I should have got him to juice her up before the game and maybe get a jab into it. But, she's an important part of us. She gives us that real oomph off the bench. It has that real scorer's mentality. So that hurt. But once again, you can only present who you've got at the time, and unfortunately tonight we weren't good enough.
What about emotionally from a playing perspective? Like when you see, she looked genuinely really upset and emotional on the bench before the game. Was it hard sort of seeing that from a teammate when you're getting ready to get into a game?
Yeah, I think she's such an important part of our culture as well off the court. She's kind of one of those leaders now, cultural-wise, that we kind of fall back on. So definitely hurts a little. I know she would have loved being out there playing. She's always wanted just to play. But again, it cut into our depth a little bit, but yeah, it was just unfortunate.
She tried to get out there and warm up, and it was obvious that she could barely move. Like at that point, we're all going to have to step up and cover a bit here. Yeah,
I think even some of our young'uns knew they were kind of going to have to step up, and I think they did great jobs when they come on. So yeah.
Never easy coming into a venue when you're playing against teams fresh and you've played a couple of days before. How big a challenge was that, knowing that they've been waiting for you and you've got a day?
Yeah, it's not ideal, obviously. And I'm not sure in this day and age why that's necessary, but it is just one of those quirks. It was the second time we did it. But the last time we did it, we went to Sydney and outscored them 34 to 11 in the last quarter. So, from a physical point of view, a lot of that is mental. We had a long day of travel yesterday and got up early, but once again, there's no excuses. It's difficult, but everyone has to go through it at some stage. And look at the Lynx. Their closest road trip is us, which is 3 hours away. So, they do a lot more travel than the rest of us anyway. So,
are you seeing things that you want to see from this group? Not necessarily from a result perspective, but when you look at the game, are you seeing what you want at the moment?
Well, look, we are a work in progress. It's frustrating because I don't have a pre-season to sort of install, some of the stuff I'd like to. So it's about making small changes, and we've given up far too many points in these last couple of games, and we know and defence has been somewhere we spoke about as being, our identity, and early in the season it was. So, it feels a little bit like one step forward, 2 steps back at the moment, and as I said to the girls after the game, we have very little margin for error now. We can continue to build, but we need to start getting wins if we have any possible shot of making the finals.
But nodding, you obviously agree with that perspective?
Yeah, I think we're more halfway through the season now, so it's kind of one of those times where we've got to figure it out and go to upward direction from here.
Such a weird ladder in that fourth spot. The team that keeps going into there doesn't have a winning record. So do you feel like it's still anyone's game if you can just
absolutely. We need to draw a line in the sand now and play to a certain standard every game, and anything can happen. You look at like you said, you look at the ladder, you look at the same with the NBL, you look at the ladders, and anyone who gets on any sort of semi-roll is going to have a chance to play finals. So, while there's still a chance, and realistically our fate is still in our own hands. We can get on a streak here and start putting some wins back forward. And, we've got some supremely talented players. We've got 2 Olympians. We hopefully get Japrice back in the next week or 2, which she's a huge part of our group as well. I talk a lot about, keeping that belief and staying aggressive, and I think at times when things don't go away, we tend to compound the problem. So from a mental standpoint, I just want to see us to see it us to carry ourselves well and be aggressive in everything we do.
When you ask me for defence, like Turner's had 6 blocks, and like she just keeps getting.
She's
in the way.
a force. I mean, she covers a lot of errors, and you know, having that, I've played with some great shot blockers in my life. It gives you so much more confidence as a player to know, you know, you can step up and deny and be more aggressive yourself defensively because you got that last line behind you, and you know, she is long. She can block some shots and rebound, and obviously is a really important part of our group.